So Sam Cedar had a lady on his program earlier. She was speaking about how we deal with pandemics and how, historically, when you come to pandemics, it wasn't some, magic cure or something like that ending a pandemic had to do with social reform. And she brought up typhus, she brought up other diseases. I think that's magical. She's right. I think that's kind of magical thinking, because to me, what Trump represents, like what coronavirus is, because there'll be more pandemics. To me, this is just the start. It's just the first big one to test the system. It's like Trump was a test of the system, and thank God the system in some ways is holding together. To me, the American dream, I don't believe in it. I'm not saying I ever did, but for me, I can tell you, I don't believe in it. I think that right now, I'm blessed with what I've got. And I would tell people that to just be thankful for what you got. But that, there is no American dream is finished. It just is. And that in my grandfather's age, you had America led the fight in polio, and America led the fight in tuberculosis, and America led the fight in HIV AIDS, and that just America, I've talked many times before about America's soft power. That was it. It was humanitarian aid, but it was also about if a major pandemic pops up, you can be sure that America is going to put money in to find a cure to save lives. What was that disease in Africa where you blindness, like mosquitoes by the river would bring it up and it would blind people? America has something to do with that. I can say historically the American government has done a lot of good in dealing with these crises that cost a lot of money to figure out and to I call it like House MD, those kind of diseases. And I think that fit in with the American dream. That I don't believe in climate change. I'm a conservative. I don't believe in climate change. But if it does happen, America, we're going to do things to fix it. We're going to save the world. We're going to be the good guys, and the world can count on America to come in, swing in, and save the world. And I just think that with the Trump era, that's done. Like, that's not what America is anymore. That's just not what it is. We're not the good guys. We're not interested in saving people. Hell, we're not even interested in saving our own citizens. Fuck average Americans. What did Trump say? Those aren't my voters. Well, I knew he thought like that. I never thought it would come out. Just like John Wayne, when he came out and said, let the Negroes take over, and Reagan joking about Africans being monkeys. I mean, this is what white supremacy is. Generations of black folks have said this. And I just think that when you have a business and you have a good, successful business, you've got to give back. You got to give back. And that CDC, that World Health, that was the giving back of, yeah, we're a warmongering empire. Yeah, we are. But we also care. And we also want to save lives. I don't think in any of the movies, I remember watching movies back in March about, I haven't seen Contagion in years. That's a scary movie. That's the kind of movies that scare me. But, I watch other older movies came out in the 90s on pandemics, outbreaks and stuff. And I just think with all of that, it was kind of like, yeah, this crisis is bad, But good judgment and proper leadership will save the day. And I just think that America now, that's just not what America is, you know? That's just not what America is, bro. And it's like me trying to put lipstick on a horse. It's like me trying to put a man in a dress. It don't work, bro. That boat don't float. That bird don't fly. You know? Sorry. So I just, this is the decline of the empire. The American people have chosen, they wanted Trump. They wanted a fascist. Well, that's not really true. Hillary won the popular vote, but the elite, whatever, has chosen that Trump is going to lead us. And capitalism is not working, it's failing people, so you're getting this rise in white supremacy. That because the system is not working the way they see it should work, they're going to just choose to take things into their own hands. I think you have people who want the end of the world. I think you have Trump supporters who really wanted this crisis, I mean, you've got people who don't want to acknowledge a pandemic. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm skipping my mask, so I woke up with my mask earlier. It happens. I get it. But this coughing in people's faces, walking in the building, coughing, you can tell it's fake. I mean, I don't understand the immaturity, and I don't understand the selfishness, and it hurts me deep inside that I live around people and I work with people that are so stupid and so selfish and so fucking ignorant to make a mockery of a fucking pandemic that's killed over 150,000 people. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I've lost faith in humanity. I've lost faith in rednecks. And I can tell you this. One thing about me in my life is I'll always look at things as how could I have prevented this? That's what Sigmund and all that put into me. How can you prevent this mistake? How can you make this not happen again? The South will learn nothing from this. Nothing will change. Listen, I don't care if a fucking 500,000 people in the South die of COVID-19. Rednecks will fucking learn nothing because the South is a fucking death cult. That's what Trump weaponized, and that's who supports Trump, is a fucking death cult. Period. And capitalism is their religion. It ain't about Christianity. That's just something they throw in your face. They're gonna step on this pedal until we run in the wall. They're gonna be, you know how if people dead and they got their foot on the pedal still running, but they dead, they had a stroke or something. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna be dead. They're gonna stay foot on the pedal. There's an Indian chief I read over the weekend that said that until all the water is gone, all the natural resources are gone, the white man will still, until then, he will never understand you cannot eat money. You cannot eat money. And that's what the South is. There's a lot of jokes about the South, but I understand why they have those signs that say no shoe, no shirt, no shoes, no service. Because these fucking barbarians and these fucking cave people have no respect for the rights of others. They have no respect for basic decorum of, they have no respect. You're dealing with barbaric animals. That's the only way I can begin to explain why you would, I mean, it just gets me how far they go with mocking the pandemic. And I think that kind of hardened me into the socialist thing, realizing that conservatism is about a politics of cruelty. It's about a politics of cruelty and harming people and just this I said death cult because they're willing to die for it. They're willing to die for it. You know, Christians talk about often hey, if I worship God, I believe in God, right? And I die, and there is no God. We just go into darkness. Well, Christianity didn't hurt me, right? Believing in God, worshiping my God didn't hurt me because I had community and I at least believed in something. I'd say the same thing with conservatives. Me believing in a pandemic, how does that hurt you? You know what I mean? How does it harm you that I am taking a pandemic seriously and I'm asking you to maintain your distance from me, keep personal space? But they'll, like I said, you go places, they'll cough in your face. I haven't had that, but I've seen it happen. I don't, these are grown men, and I just don't get it, you know? And I realize that this is just, like I said, the politics of cruelty. That it's not based upon logic, it's not based upon reason. Just like Trump isn't. This stuff's not based upon any kind of a long-term policy. They're willing to destroy the world. They're willing to let the world burn, as Alfred said in that movie. Yeah, Batman movie. They're willing to watch the world burn if they can't be racist, if they can't use the N-word, if they can't call people faggots. If they can't slap women on the asses, if they've got to basically give you your basic respect, then goddamn it, you know what I mean? They just want to destroy the earth. I just realized that for some of these white people, they are unwilling to live in harmony with brotherhood of man. They don't want it. They don't want harmony. They like America being an empire. Like I used to think that, maybe it's education that people didn't know. They know what America's doing. They like it. They like bombing people, you know? They like it. They like a police state. It's not a mistake. It's not a fluke. It's not an error. This is what they think America should be. And they think that if you're not committing war crimes as a soldier, you're not doing your job. You know, that being a Muslim isn't equivalent to being a terrorist. That's how they think. It took me a while to get it. It took me a long time to understand this. You know, you are literally dealing with people who are in a doomsday cult. Electing Trump was not about putting forward any kind of a legitimate, conservative, Reagan-esque policy. It was all about a politics of cruelty, putting gays back in the closet. You beat that black man down, and you keep that black man out of those white communities. Put that woman back in the kitchen and you send the Mexicans back over the border. That's what Trump was all about. That's what they elected him for. It was never about, well, we'll come up with an equivalent for Obamacare. Never done it. And this fool is still trying to take people's health care in the middle of a fucking pandemic. So here you are, you're a redneck. You're making fun of me who don't have health care or has precarious health care because your person's trying to destroy it. You're making fun of me for trying to protect myself during a pandemic. I don't have any money in the bank. I'm barely making it as it is. Maybe I didn't pay my rent last month. I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm just barely making it by. I ain't got no gas in my car. I barely made it to work. I'm wearing my mask because I'm scared and I don't trust the federal government. I'm trying to protect myself. And I got to deal with you fucking crackers making fun of me for simply attempting to protect myself during a pandemic. This is what the South is. This is it, baby. This is what the South is. This is it. This is it. You know? It's not about, we're going to come up with a better program than Democrats. No! We're going to hurt people. I'm going to send my federal Gestapo agents into your cities to kidnap people without charge, and kidnap, not arrest, it's kidnapping, in unmarked vehicles with no identification. I'm going to do that. That's my way of dealing with folks protesting during a pandemic. And now I'm going to get in the way of them being able to get more money. I'm going to end. It's like Trump or these it's like they want a race war. It's like they want a revolution, but it won't just be black people. That's what gets me with white people is, don't you realize how many white people are on food stamps? Don't you fucking get how many people in these fucking red states are going to be put out on the street in short order? Don't you get that? This isn't, I mean, maybe it makes you feel good to get back at black people. Maybe it makes you feel good to beat Mexicans over the head and, yeah, they deserve it. They breaking the law. It makes you feel good to do that kind of cruelty. I get it. That's your nature. And I've said it for, I go to work sites when no one speaks English. I've said it for a long time. If you want to do something about these Mexicans, start fighting the white men that know about these Mexicans being illegal. Going on a site and no one speaks English. And they all kind of scared of me. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm coming up, I'm like, hey man, sign paperwork. My boss, you could just tell, like, these motherfuckers scared, boy. One of them, I was at Rufus Express, I'll never forget it. We talking, the dude, he laughing, he talking about he's from California, and man, other Mexicans come up there. He was helping me back, and they were unloading. And other Mexicans asked him, what did you tell him? So you know the motherfucker was illegal. I've never heard nothing like that. That basically telling you, like, you lied. You know, he lied to me. I don't hate you for these Mexicans. Because I know what white folks are doing. They just today's nigga. That's all they are. They today's nigga. This is all about politics of cruelty. And for a part of, it's like candy and ice cream to his base. But I just don't see how any of that helps white people. I don't get it. I don't. Peace, y'all.